Thursday morning. So I'm gonna go over here and grind the stump. So yesterday, well, I missed some of the footage when I was editing because, well, when you let the cameras just go wild, the GoPro, it indexes the footage not in order, and it's just, I'll be so glad when I'm done with the GoPro stuff, because the DJI stuff is all in order and everything. But the GoPro does do good footage when it's working. So yesterday, I probably spent about 4 hours over there yesterday. So, you know, at the end of the day, I'm trying to, I don't know, man, I'm trying to figure out, you know, when I tell them how much money, I'm trying to make sure that I'm making money. Now, when you look at the scope of that job, it could have went a lot quicker, right? I mean, it really could have, but I'm overkill on, you know, rigging and everything. I'm checking things twice, and I'm making sure that if something bad happens, it's not going to be detrimental to me getting paid or detrimental to a property or anything. Now, so that's why it takes me so long. And being solo up and down in a man lift, that is, well, that's just well, I don't have to pay nobody, so I get to keep it all, right? So, but there's a lot of debris in the backyard that I was not, and I'm not going to get. And so I told the owner, you know, and he's my neighbor, and you know, I'll get some more work out of you know, I mean, you can't put enough emphasis on word of mouth in my area, because every Tom, Dick, and Harry can do what I do until it's time to do what I do. The last 2 jobs in my neighborhood that I went and looked at, they've had the guy that I'm doing that I did the pine tree for yesterday and trimmed those branches. He had 2 people come over there and look at it. They agreed to money, and then the guy never came back, because they saw that it wasn't going to be an easy job, and they saw that, well, they're probably going to have to rent equipment, and they saw that he's not going to spend the kind of money where they can make money renting equipment. To me, that puts me above the rest, if you will, that don't have equipment. Now, some people do, you know, but you get these big tree service guys coming and doing that a job like that, they're not even going to want to do it. Not because they can't, but because it's not enough work. So the only way, for the most part, now there's always extenuating circumstances, but for the most part, people that's got one tree, one rotten pine or whatever, they're not going to call Boss Tree Service out here. You know, they might call them, but Boss Tree Service is going to probably tell them, hey, yeah, we charge $5 grand a day. You know, so and if it's not a great big surgically removed tree where they can charge, you know, $4,000 or $5,000 for one tree, or you know, or $4,000 or $5,000 for 3 trees, then it's not worthy of their time and the resources they have to dedicate to that. Now, I guess if work ran out, they would, you know, be forced to do smaller jobs. But as long as they're, you know, I mean, it's a nice little niche to be in, for real, in my area anyway. And they're doing a lot of development all around here. I mean, everywhere I go on these back roads, it used to be country. It's been country since I was a little boy. On these back roads where me and my girlfriend used to ride around and park on pastures and party and have bonfires. There ain't no pastures no more. They're all, there's neighborhoods everywhere, and they're still cutting in, doing them right now. I'm thinking about maybe getting into the fertilization, weed control, and maybe even hydro seeding. I've been checking into some of that stuff, because in my area, if you can do hydro seeding, you could probably market that to a lot of the big developments that are coming up, and there's a lot. There are well, there's one development that's got over 400 homes in it, and then there's another one. Well, I can think of 3 or 4, and they're all over 200 homes. So and they're still counting and cutting in, and everywhere I go I say, damn man, they done cleared all the land right there. So they are and you got to seize those moments if you're in an area like that. And it's prime for me, man, because at the end of the day, I've been handling my business in this area for a long time, and I'm established, and I got the equipment. I'm not a startup or nothing, so any of the contractors that are home builders, and I got a couple of plugs, but I haven't really exposed myself to that market because, well, I don't know what I don't know. I'm learning every day with the skid steer. I'm learning where the money's at in the wintertime, but in the summertime I simply do not have time to run the skid steer right now. I don't have enough labor, and when I do have labor, it's not knowledgeable labor where I can just let them loose on the lawn care. So well, Ray, you just a control. Well, I might be, I guess. I don't know, but you got to do things a certain way, and if you want me to pay you, and you can't take 10 hours to make $500. So and you can't do it your way. You just can't, because your way, especially with the lawn maintenance, is probably not going to be the way I do things and have been doing things. And I'm not saying that the way I do things is right or wrong. I'm saying it's been working. And when I'm out on the lawn maintenance stuff, we make top dollar. Top dollar. So the only time we don't make top dollar is when I'm not out there. And but I anticipate getting more skid steer work. I'm gonna grind this stump down over here, show y'all a little bit of some of the clips that I missed from yesterday, and then y'all noticed yesterday when I pulled it, I had a plan of pulling that tree, in my customer's, front yard, right? But things change when you start going up the side of a tree with a man lift, and you start seeing the trajectory, and then all the little things that you don't really see when you're just gazing up at a tree, right? When you start really analyzing the surgical part of it, okay, where's the tree going to go? What's the worst case scenario, and how do I avoid that? And though I thought the tree would break off up where I notched it at, I mean, I really did, but I knew there was a chance that it wouldn't. Now, I wasn't sure if it would pull it all the way over like it did, but if you got enough tall leverage in the top of a tree, and the tree's rotten, and that tree's rotten at the bottom, then you don't really know what's going to happen. I just know that if the rope had broke, or if the tree, or if the top came out after a lot of pulling, right, then a lot of times once the top comes out, falls, right, well, then you got the rest of the tree in that situation. It was pretty weak, especially the bottom of it. A lot of times if the top comes out, it pulls the tree a little bit, and then the top breaks off, and then the tree will bounce back. And that's what you got to worry about on old pine trees, bumping into them and stuff. They'll fall on you. I've had them fall on the machine quite a few times over the years. So when you get up, if you're on a skid steer and you get up to a rotten tree, any kind of tree really, a rotten one, dead tree, and you go to pushing on it, well, a lot of times the bottom moves a lot faster than the top, and then that sucker will do like that, and the top will just break out and fall right on top of the machine. So let's get over here and get this stump ground, and yeah. So I did okay on this job. I'm just trying to space the work out while I'm waiting on other work to come in. I got another job over here that I'm gonna be doing too. Over on the same street over here. So yeah. But it's cold and I love it, man. I love this cold weather. I love it. I can hang out in the cold weather all day long. So that's why I'm really not sweating anything over here or nothing. I'm just, you know, I mean, I could have finished everything up yesterday, but I'll tell you, after being up in that man lift and mentally and physically, I was beat, man. I was wore out, and I thought to myself, I said, dude, you don't have to finish all this today, you know. That's what I told myself. Why are you trying that? Now, if I had help, of course I would have finished. But now, if I had a bunch of work on today, then I would have finished. But I didn't have anything going on today. Now I got some stuff next week. I was just tired, and you know, I didn't get started till late over there, so, and I was sore, man. Cold too, dude. I'll be right here next week grinding about 50 stumps, doing a little grading, a little brush cutting. But if I'd have been doing this job by the day, then I would have had to do it yesterday. I would have had to finish yesterday. So I always try to do a little bit of overkill in my neighborhood, man, because, you know, as long as they're paying good, now they got to be paying me good. And this dude's paying good. He's paying good money. $1,000 for what I did is good money, man. It really is. Okay, so yeah. So I'm gonna offload and we get to grinding. Okay, y'all, here we go. I want y'all to look at all the birds, man. They love this mulched up stuff. So I got the grapple on there. I'm gonna drop the tooth bucket, and then I'm gonna come in here and grab that, and then kind of smooth this out a little bit as I go. Grab that pile and take it on to the back right there. So yeah, I'm gonna try not to have to hook the tooth bucket on, because if I do, that means I got to unhook the grapple bucket. So yeah. Okay, y'all, so y'all see it. Took me about 20 minutes. Not bad at all. Yeah, pretty good. So nothing broke, nobody got hurt, I got paid, and yeah, so that's where we're at, man. Okay, y'all, so yeah, from pull up to pull off about 40 minutes, so that's not bad, man. And I didn't have to do that. I wanted to, though, because I'm trying to develop, you know, customers and stuff, and you know, and word of mouth, and the more stuff you do, the more word of mouth you're gonna get. So yeah, man, really. Yesterday was hard, though, but if I had help yesterday, then I'd have gave them, you know, $150, $200. But we would have done more work. We would have done that, all of it. And then what's the point? You know, then what happens? I'll run out of work because I'm not prepared for having somebody out here for the winter. Because I can't count on nobody in the summer, man. I can't plan on winter work and stuff when I don't have anybody that can even finish the summer. So, and if it's my fault, then so be it. It's my fault. I mean, that's not. I mean, I'm always going to be out here during the summer, so it's not like that's going to change. I don't know, man. You know. But the guy that I was at his house the other day with the mulcher that he doesn't ever use, he gets a lot of his work through, you know, Angie's List or whatever. It looks like he stays pretty busy. I don't know how much money he's making or not making, but it looks like he stays pretty busy. And you know, as long as he's making decent money, I like staying busy, but I don't like to just stay busy, especially when I have to. He does a lot of traveling He'll be down in McDonough, which is about 35 miles from here. Over in Hogansville, which is about 35 miles the other way, and all the way over in Fairburn, which is about 40 miles. I mean, he's traveling a pretty good ways to do some of the work. See, and I don't want to travel like that, because I just don't think that that even though you're staying busy, that you're just making that much more money by the time you factor in all of that. Well, I'm gonna top off the machine, take it home, and get it ready for another job next week. I'll grease it and everything. I don't grease the machine every time I use it, about every other time. But I'm always, y'all know I'm always looking at the machine and looking at what it's telling me, and look at all the joints and hydraulic lines and all the stuff.